In the morning light reflecting off Manhattan's skyscrapers, Ashley Brown had already been immersed in work for over an hour on the 45th floor of Goldman Sachs headquarters at 200 West Street. Though her window offered a magnificent view of the Hudson River and One World Trade Center, her eyes remained fixed on the columns of numbers on her monitor. Dressed in a Brooks Brothers navy suit, she embodied the very image of a Wall Street elite. "Ms. Brown, your ASEAN market analysis report is exceptional as always. Your predictions are consistently accurate." Ashley responded to her supervisor James Smith's praise with a gentle smile. As a senior analyst at the major investment bank, her analyses were always precise, and her reputation within the company was sterling. Her name invariably came up whenever new project teams were being formed. Everyone acknowledged the path she had carved through hard work and competence. Her smartphone vibrated, displaying a notification from the family group chat. Ashley hesitated for a moment before touching the screen. Lately, these notifications had been giving her a sense of tightness in her chest. "Oh, Ashley, it's been a while." The message was from her mother, Carol. "I've made reservations at Smith and Walensky for next week's family dinner. You'll come this time, won't you? Haley says she has wonderful news." Ashley didn't miss the mix of expectation and reproach hidden behind those words. Scrolling through the screen, she caught sight of her sister Haley's latest Instagram photo. A selfie at an upscale Manhattan restaurant. Her sister, wearing the latest Gucci dress and raising a champagne glass, with their parents beaming proudly beside her. Ashley let out a deep sigh. Haley, a self-proclaimed social media influencer, continued posting about her lavish lifestyle. Though she claimed to have over 50,000 followers, Ashley knew most were purchased fake accounts. And their parents remained unaware of the mounting debts behind it all. Looking back, their parents had treated the sisters very differently since childhood in their Greenwich, Connecticut home. Robert, a former high school principal, and Carol, a former elementary school teacher, had always been strict with Ashley, their firstborn. Extra lessons even on holidays. Extracurricular activities only if they didn't interfere with academics. Close monitoring of her social circle. "Ashley, as the eldest daughter, you must set an example. The Brown family's honor is at stake." That had been her mother's constant refrain. Meanwhile, they continued to indulge Haley, saying she's still young. When she skipped homework or got poor test scores, they would say, "Talent isn't just about studying." Ashley quietly studied her way to an Ivy League scholarship and built her career through her own efforts. She would arrive at work earlier than anyone else and stay later than everyone else, day after day, to achieve her current position. In contrast, Haley dropped out of college and chose the path of an influencer. Their parents proudly told everyone that their younger daughter had made a choice suited to the times. At monthly family dinners, Haley's success on social media was the central topic. Ashley's promotions and achievements were barely acknowledged. Ashley lives alone in her Upper East Side luxury apartment, but memories of childhood occasionally resurface. The time she covered up for her sister's misused school funds with her own allowance. The days she took care of her sister even when she wasn't feeling well herself. And now, that same sister was drowning in pretense and vanity, accumulating debt. Unable to point this out, Ashley found herself caught between her parents' expectations and disappointment. In Ashley's heart, complex emotions about her sister swirled. It wasn't hatred. Rather, it was a deep pity for a sister who continued to avoid reality, and something like resignation toward parents who enabled it. "I'll attend the next family dinner," Ashley sent a brief reply. She noticed her reflection in the screen looked somewhat lonely. On a gentle early summer morning in Manhattan, Ashley was taking deep breaths on her yoga mat at home. Through the window of her Upper East Side luxury apartment, she could see Central Park's trees shrouded in morning mist. This was her daily ritual. A precious time to center herself before starting a new day. Her smartphone's notification sound broke the silence. An Instagram post from her parents. Ashley's finger touched the screen. There they were, smiling in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, her parents and sister. Mother Carol wore a new Burberry trench coat, while Father Robert maintained his meticulous appearance with a tie even on holiday. And Sister Haley had a latest Louis Vuitton bag slung over her shoulder, making a peace sign at the camera. The posts continued: shopping on the Champs-Élysées, dinner at Michelin-starred restaurants, the Colosseum in Rome, whitewashed streets in Spain, and spectacular views from luxury hotel suites. Her phone vibrated again. This time, a direct message from her parents. "Ashley, are you seeing this? Haley treated us to this wonderful trip. She's grown into such a good daughter. You should learn from her. Stop living only for work and neglecting your family." Ashley's hands trembled slightly. One deep breath. The messages weren't finished. "Haley truly makes us happy. Unlike you. What a disappointment." Just as she was about to put down her smartphone, an email arrived from the credit card company. Subject line: regarding possible fraudulent use. Ashley's spine froze. Logging in to check the statement, she found charges totaling over $50,000, the Four Seasons Hotel in Paris, Air France first-class tickets, Michelin-starred restaurant meals, shopping at brand boutiques on the Champs-Élysées. No way. Thinking back 3 months ago. The day her sister suddenly visited her home. "Want some tea?" She had appeared unusually friendly. That day, Ashley was working from home, focused on her computer screen. That must have been when her credit card was stolen. Ashley took a deep breath to regain her composure. First, she called the credit card company's security department to invalidate the card and request detailed usage records. Next, she contacted a law firm to schedule a 30-minute emergency consultation with Sarah Watson, a female attorney specializing in financial crimes. Opening her email, she began gathering evidence. Screenshots of her sister's social media posts, credit card usage history, documents requesting security camera footage. She organized everything chronologically. Her investment banking experience showed in her efficiency. Her phone rang again. A new photo from her parents. The family smiling happily in front of Barcelona's Sagrada Familia. "Thanks to Haley, we're making the best memories of our lives. You should learn from her." Ashley quietly picked up her smartphone and typed a reply. "Beautiful photo. I'll meet you at the airport. I've prepared a special surprise." As she hit send, a small smile played on her lips. Summer sunlight streamed through the window of her Upper East Side high-rise apartment. On her desk lay a note with JFK Airport arrival times and another with contact information for the NYPD commissioner. Then she stood up and took out her finest theory suit from the closet. Special days call for special attire. Her reflection in the mirror showed an unusually dignified expression. At JFK Airport's arrival lobby, Ashley stood straight, watching the passenger exit. Her deep navy theory suit accentuated her dignified bearing. Her long brown hair was more carefully arranged than usual, and her makeup was perfect. She had meticulously prepared everything for this day. "Ms. Brown, everything is ready," whispered Detective Jessica Martin in plain clothes. Beside her stood Detective Mike Thompson, also in civilian attire. Both were experienced financial crimes investigators. Behind them waited attorney Sarah Watson in a gray suit and the credit card company's fraud investigator. Ashley checked the arrival board. Air France flight AF023 from Paris had landed on schedule. "Would the Brown family please come forward?" announced the airline's ground staff, offering VIP treatment to guide the group to the exit. A first-class benefit that Haley had booked. First appeared Father Robert, in his usual meticulous dress, carrying what appeared to be a new Burberry trench coat. Then Mother Carol, wearing a Chanel tweed jacket reportedly purchased in Paris, with Gucci sunglasses. Finally, Haley emerged, dressed head to toe in Louis Vuitton with a new Hermès Birkin bag. She looked as if she'd stepped straight out of a fashion magazine. "Ashley." Mother waved. "We had such a wonderful trip." "Haley, really?" Her words stopped mid-sentence. Behind her mother, the police officers quietly displayed their badges. "Ms. Haley Brown," Detective Jessica stepped forward. "NYPD. We have a warrant for your arrest on charges of credit card fraud and theft." A moment of silence. The lobby's bustle seemed to fade into the distance. This must be some mistake." Father's voice trembled. "Why?" Haley's eyes welled up. "I did it for you, for our family." "For family?" Ashley's voice was ice cold. "Stealing and fraudulently using my credit card was for family?" Mother nearly collapsed to her knees, with Father supporting her. Surrounding travelers began stopping to watch the unusual scene. "This is a misunderstanding," Haley shouted. "Big sister lent it to me. Once my social media followers increased, I was going to pay it back." She tried to run toward the exit. However, Detective Thompson quickly blocked her path. "Additional charges have been identified," Attorney Watson pulled out documents. "Fraudulent withdrawals from your parents' retirement accounts, investment fraud using fake social media accounts, multiple credit card frauds. The total amount exceeds $750,000. "No, it can't be." Mother's face turned pale. Father pulled out his bankbook with an incredulous expression. His hands were shaking. "Carol, check the bankbook." "Dad, Mom, I..." Haley's makeup began to run with her tears. "I just wanted to make everyone happy. The pressure of social media, the debts. I was going to pay it all back." Ashley stopped Detective Jessica's hand as she reached for her sister's arm. Then she looked directly into her sister's eyes. "Haley, remember? In elementary school, when you embezzled school money and I covered it with my allowance. In middle school, when I apologized for your shoplifting. Even when you dropped out of college, I didn't say anything. But this time is different." Ashley's voice was filled with sadness, yet carried strong resolve. You used up our parents' retirement savings. And while denouncing me as the disappointing daughter, you enjoyed a luxurious vacation with my money. This isn't just a family matter anymore. It's a crime. Haley's shoulders slumped. Big sister. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Don't apologize to me, Ashley said quietly. Apologize to our parents who kept believing in you. Their parents stood frozen in place. The bank book trembled in father's grip. Mother stared into space, unable even to cry. Ms. Haley Brown, you have the right to remain silent. Detective Thompson began reading the warrant. Detective Jessica quietly handcuffed Haley. The Hermes Birkin fell to the floor, its contents scattering. Fake credit cards, forged documents, piles of receipts. And Ashley's stolen credit card. All the evidence lay there. Ashley. Father called out in a hoarse voice. To you, what terrible things we've. We'll talk about it later, Ashley answered calmly. First, let's handle this situation. The evening light streamed through the arrival lobby's large windows. As Ashley watched her sister being led away by police, she confronted the complex emotions stirring in her chest. In the Manhattan Police Station's interrogation room. Against sterile white walls, only the clock's second hand could be heard ticking. Ms. Haley Brown, let's discuss your criminal history. Detective Jessica Martin spread out the files. Stripped of her flashy makeup and wearing plain detention center clothes, Haley looked almost like a different person, diminished. Systematic financial crimes began 2 years ago, the detective read methodically. First, multiple credit card frauds. Then, investment fraud using social media. Following that, fraudulent withdrawals from your parents' retirement accounts. Finally, theft and misuse of your sister's credit card. In the adjacent monitoring room, Ashley watched with her parents. Mother Carol clutched a handkerchief, while Father Robert stared at the screen with a hardened expression. It all started with that investment 3 years ago. Haley's voice trembled. To increase my social media followers, I bought accounts, but that wasn't enough. The statements piled up. Creating new debts to pay old ones, more crimes to keep up appearances. Haley's voice broke. How did I end up like this? Outside the interrogation room, Ashley sighed. Opening the bankbook her father had handed over with trembling hands. Balance, just $5,000. Their parents' retirement savings from 30 years of teaching were nearly depleted. Why didn't we notice? Mother sobbed. We were so proud of her luxurious lifestyle, but it was all crime. What terrible parents we are. We criticized Ashley, who went to college on scholarship and worked so hard to succeed. Father's voice shook. Bragging about Haley's success, we were completely wrong. On the monitor, Haley's confession continued. When my Instagram likes decreased, I'd panic. He felt I had to post even more extravagant things. New Gucci bags, overseas trips, luxury restaurants, it was all a facade. She broke down crying. Every time followers called me a life winner, I had to tell more lies. Big sister's success was so bright, parents' expectations were so heavy. Attorney Sarah Watson spread out new materials. Analysis of Haley's social media accounts. Of her 50,000 followers, only 8,000 were real accounts. The rest were all purchased fakes. Many investment fraud victims were people attracted to these fabricated success posts. Jealous of big sister, wanting to monopolize parents' love, but in the end, I only hurt myself. Haley's confession continued. That time I went to big sister's house, pretending to make tea while taking the card from her wallet. Ashley closed her eyes. The day her sister came to her house. Focused on work, she hadn't paid attention to what her sister was doing in the kitchen. Because she trusted her. Or perhaps she was pretending not to notice. This is a major case approaching $1 million in total damages, the detective announced. Particularly, among the investment fraud victims are elderly people who lost all their retirement funds. Mother stood up to leave the room. I can't listen anymore. Ashley gently embraced her mother's shoulders. Mom, we can't turn away from reality. This is our family's truth. How? Father mumbled. How did we not notice? Spoiling our daughter, instilling wrong values. Ashley, can you forgive us for failing to properly value you? Ashley quietly nodded. Dad, Mom. Acknowledging mistakes takes strength. Let's face this problem together from now on. In the interrogation room, Detective Jessica posed a final question. Why did you use your sister's credit card to take your parents on a European vacation? Haley raised her tear-swollen eyes. One last time. I wanted to make my parents happy. And my jealousy and hatred toward big sister, this was the only way I could express it. Ashley's smartphone vibrated. A message from the credit card company. Compensation for fraudulent charges and a request for cooperation in crime prevention. The amount covered by insurance was listed. What about our retirement funds? Father asked anxiously. I can cover half from my savings, Ashley responded immediately. For the rest, we'll make a repayment plan along with Haley's rehabilitation program. Ashley. Mother gripped her daughter's hand. You're a wonderful daughter. I'm sorry we didn't realize until now. Outside the window, Manhattan's night skyline glittered. On the interrogation room monitor, Haley looked as small as a lost child. Ashley took a deep breath, contemplating the long road ahead. The truth can sometimes be brutally clear. But only by facing that truth can real healing begin. That's what Ashley believed. Autumn in Manhattan. Ashley waited for her parents at an Upper East Side cafe terrace. 6 months after the incident. Weekend brunch had become a new family tradition. Ashley. Turning around, she saw her parents waving. Father Robert maintained his usual meticulous appearance, but his expression was softer. Mother Carol wore an elegant cashmere sweater instead of her previous flashy attire. They both seemed to have regained some peace. The verdict came in, Mother quietly began. Ashley nodded. Last week, Haley's trial had concluded. 5 years in prison, restitution order totaling $950,300. The sentence was severe due to the numerous victims of her social media investment fraud. The rehabilitation program is going well, Ashley said, sipping her coffee. Haley has started studying for an accounting certification in prison. During our last visit, Father continued, she said, this might be the first time in my life I'm making a genuine effort. Their food arrived. A luxurious brunch plate that they would have certainly posted on social media before. But now, the three of them ate together in peaceful silence. I went to counseling, Mother opened up. The therapist said we made serious mistakes in raising our children. Mom, Ashley gently interrupted. We can't change the past. But we can change what's ahead. After the incident, her parents had changed significantly. Weekly counseling sessions. Attending financial literacy courses. And most importantly, their efforts to deepen their relationship with Ashley. The retirement fund is slowly but surely. Father pulled a paper from his wallet. The new bank book showed a gradually recovering balance. Ashley's support, insurance compensation, and the small income from Haley's prison work therapy were slowly adding up. Last week, we received a letter from Haley in prison. Mother took an envelope from her handbag. Dear family. Every day, I face my mistakes. My old self who was obsessed with social media likes, drowning in pretense and vanity. My twisted jealousy toward big sister. My childish desire to monopolize our parents' love. But now, I feel I'm changing bit by bit. The friends I've met in the rehabilitation program. The time we spend sharing our true feelings. Though accounting studies are difficult, for the first time, I feel like I'm accomplishing something through my own efforts. Each time you visit, Dad and Mom, I notice your expressions becoming gentler. And big sister. I can now understand your strength and kindness. The sky I see from the prison window is narrow, but I feel my heart is gradually expanding. With love. Haley. Ashley quietly folded the letter. Fighting back tears, she let out a deep sigh. I've changed too, Ashley smiled. Before, I would have just covered up family problems and kept my distance. But now. She searched for words. Now, I feel I can accept everything about our family, including its imperfections. The other day, I gave a lecture at the investment bank. Ashley changed the subject. From a victim's perspective, about the dangers of social media fraud especially. Your daughter's experience might save others' lives. Mother's eyes showed a glimmer of pride. I'm starting volunteer work next month, Mother announced. Teaching cooking at a rehabilitation facility. I want to use our experience of nearly losing our family to help others in similar situations. I've reconsidered my retirement activities too, Father joined in. I used to be so caught up in titles and appearances, but what really matters is. His words trailed off, but all three understood their meaning. In Central Park, autumn leaves danced in the wind, announcing the arrival of a new season. Ashley's smartphone displayed next week's visitation schedule. Meeting with Haley. And tonight, a lecture at the support group for investment fraud victims. It's strange, Ashley looked up at the sky. This incident truly made us a family in the real sense. Mother took her daughter's hand. The warm touch needed no words. And on the table, no one reached for their smartphones to open social media. Instead, the three of them looked into each other's eyes, exchanging quiet smiles. In the distance, church bells rang, as if announcing the start of a new day. Ashley contemplated the new form of family they would build over time. Not perfect. But that was okay. Real bonds don't begin by hiding wounds, but by acknowledging them and healing together. The Manhattan skyline melted into the autumn twilight. There were no social media filters, no pretense or vanity. Just a new step forward for a family, imperfect but sincere.